Okay, guys, we're going to get right into it, man. So, obviously, everyone's kind of privy to Mike Waltz being let out for the NSA position, guys. He got removed. Rubio's taken over. Now he's UN ambassador for the U.S. Everybody's still trying to wrap their heads around it, like, what was this decision about? What are the implications? You know, what's going on, right? What's going on with the Trump's national security team? And a lot of information has been circulating online, one of which we can confirm here, that Israel First influencer Laura Loomer, right, who I consider as a domestic terrorist that's actually making administration decisions for Donald Trump, guys, was behind a lot of this. She said she released some type of audio to the Trump administration. I'm going to be honest with you guys, she's definitely influencing the Trump administration, might even be holding it hostage, okay, so to Israel's demands, not nothing to do with America. But let's get into this clip here real quick of MSNBC host breaking this down before we get into some
All
other
we know is
information
Mike Waltz is out of there at NSA, exiled to the UN, but although he's still got to get confirmed, we'll see. Now, it also appears that part of the story happening here is a kind of ideological purge led by, drumroll please, this woman, seen here chaining herself to one of the doors of Twitter's headquarters in 2018 because the platform had banned her for her consistently hateful posting. This is the same woman who accompanied Trump to a 9/11 memorial last year, even though she's a 9/11 truther. She's been spotted several times in the past year, advising the former and now current president very closely. I mean, really, really close to him. She's a far-right influencer named Laura Loomer, who is famous for making sweeping statements like this.
I truly believe that the people who engaged in the coup against Donald Trump and have caused, civil unrest and chaos in our country for the last 7 years through Crossfire Hurricane and also through these what I believe are illegal witch hunts against the president of the United States right now, unconstitutional witch hunts against Donald Trump. They are treasonous. They are traitors. They should get the death penalty when they are jailed in the next Trump administration.
Just to be clear, Crossfire Hurricane, meaning the folks in the FBI, the Justice Department, jailed, executed under Trump. That's what she called for. Now, early last month, on the very same day that Donald Trump announced his tariffs, according to the New York Times, he also had a truly weird meeting with one and the same, Laura Loomer, in the Oval Office. And in that meeting, you got Laura Loomer, President of the United States, and the guy running the national security apparatus for the most powerful nation on earth. They're all in the Oval Office, and in that meeting, Loomer, the one you saw chained to the Twitter door, was blasting Waltz and his staff as insufficiently loyal to MAGA. Shortly afterward, Trump fired 6 officials on the National Security Council. Those were officials Waltz had defended in that same Oval Office meeting, apparently to no avail. The next day in Air Force One, Trump was asked about that meeting with, again, his national security advisor and the woman who chained herself to the door of Twitter, and how it went.
Laura Loomer is a very good patriot. She is a very strong person.
Uh-oh.
And I saw her yesterday for a little while.
The big orange dummy.
She makes recommendations of things and people. And sometimes I listen to those recommendations.
Sometimes
they just seem to spend a lot of time together, that she can make recommendations sometimes. Sometimes he listens to those recommendations. Today, we got the news that, Waltz was out at NSC. I don't know from outside if these things are related, but here's what I do know. Loomer had beef with Waltz and his deputy.
Alex Wong, he's Chinese, by the way, so I don't really know who's doing the vetting. If I was involved in vetting, things like this would not be happening. Okay, so again, I don't know why we have Chinese individuals in positions of national security in the Trump administration. Maybe that's Waltz.
I'm quite sure Alex Wong is an American citizen. Loomer seems to think that he's ethnically unacceptable in the position he had. Whatever the reason.
Better question is, who's this Israeli-Hungarian dual national Jew making administrative decisions for the Trump national security team, having high-level meetings with the national security advisor and Donald Trump, right? Trying to discredit the national security advisor of not playing up to his role. When you're a Twitter influencer that we found out about a year ago for making weird racist comments, and you're a dual citizen, you're not even America first. If anything, all her policies have been Israel first, right? how the hell is she able to do all that stuff? Obviously, you know, we know how. She's on payroll with some of these lobbyists. We're not going to name them. You guys know who they are. She's on payroll. She's running around our administrative national security team, making real big strategic decisions. And Trump is sitting there listening to her. The big old orange idiot is sitting there listening to her as if like they have his, you know, they have him like cornered and they're getting ready. You know, they have him by the balls. You know, this is fucking wild, guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you. She should be labeled as a domestic terrorist. Literally, a domestic terrorist. Because why is she allowed? She's not a public elected official. She's not even a politician. No one knows anything about her background, right? Why is she allowed to influence the Trump administration to this extent? That is some weird shit, man. Like, seriously.
Marginalized, which is possibly that he had a, quote, in Loomer's mind, Chinese deputy. Trump is kind of rearranging the deck chairs on a badly listing ship and trying to do it in a way that doesn't look bad for him. And part of that, we should note, involves him consolidating two of the most important roles in the federal government, Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, giving them both to Marco Rubio, child of Cuban immigrants who once made his bones in the Senate, standing up very proudly, very rhetorically, forcefully against dictators for the rule of law. A guy who is now the face of Trump's...
Hold up, bro. Hold up.
So the other week, when you were able to, you know, basically put in some suggestions that President Trump fire the national security apparatus, and your input outweighed the national security advisor, Mike Waltz. What's it like to have that much power?
I don't really feel like Mike Waltz
Jesus,
has much
bro.
credibility these days. I mean, the guy created a scandal for President Trump.
Look at that face. Holy shit.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how you accidentally add a reporter from a hostile publication to a Signal chat, but whatever, I guess, you know, there's always going to be mental gymnastics to explain people's screw-ups, I suppose.
Did you express any concerns to him about Mike Waltz?
And then it reminded me of a video that I've saved in my phone for many years of Michael Waltz on video speaking out against President Trump when he first ran for president, accusing him of being against service members. And so, you know, I was about to show this video to President Trump, and then Michael Waltz, you know, walked into the Oval Office. So, you know, there goes my conversation completely interrupted. So then it just makes me wonder, you know, I could play the video. It just makes me wonder.
So when you went to that meeting...
Play the video. Let's just play the video.
He essentially called anyone who was captured in combat a loser. It's something that I just personally can't stomach.
He's a war hero. 5.5 years. He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured.
Don't let Trump fool you. Look into his real record and stop Trump now.
I reached out to Mike Waltz's spokesperson to see if he ever discussed these comments with President Trump. And a Trump administration official responded in a statement, quote, Mike has supported President Trump since after the primaries of 2016. He is a steadfast supporter of the president's America First agenda and works every day to implement it.
I don't want you framing this as, oh, Laura Loomer tried to get Michael Waltz fired. I didn't go in there trying to get him fired. I was just making the point that I'm a Trump loyalist. I never said that I never campaigned against Trump. Michael Waltz was working with a PAC that was trying to actively campaign against Donald Trump in 2016. So my point is Michael Waltz is not going to have the same standard of loyalty that I have because he himself was a Trump hater, right? So I was trying to explain that.
But how would that not make Trump want to fire him?
Well, I think it's important that President Trump see these things. Like, did President Trump see this when he appointed Michael Waltz as his NSC director? I wasn't trying to get him fired.
Again,
but
like,
again,
if
like,
you
it
walk
makes
into
me
a room
wonder,
with that,
did
that's
anybody
like,
show these videos to President Trump?
That's pretty like killer information to show him. Exactly. Like, how would that
Yeah,
not get him
unfortunately,
fired?
Michael Waltz walked into the Oval Office.
Okay, yeah, she sniffed the video from miles away, guys, with that rhinoplasty surgery, that failed rhinoplasty surgery. Guys, this video has been out for a long time, right? This is something that she's like, they're trying to use this as an excuse as to why she had a high-level stakes meeting with her, Trump, and Mike Waltz, where she's like literally berating the guy, right? Somebody has something over Trump to where it's like, dude, you either make these moves, make these switches, or we disband your entire administration. I don't know what's going on, but that is wild that an unelected official has so much influence on the Trump administration that he actually fired 6 individuals, right, that she claimed weren't loyal to the MAGA movement. He fired 6 individuals. Now he got rid of Mike Waltz because of the whole Signal leak chat, and Waltz was responsible for adding this individual onto the chat. And so they replaced him with Rubio, who people are saying he's even more hawkish than Waltz is.